Yo guys, welcome back to the Wolf Subs channel, and today I'm going to be going into something that I am asked all the time. Every time I put a question box up on Instagram, every time I post something on, I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, I always get someone messaging me saying, how do you actually start a supplement brand? I'm not one of them guys that's going to be like, oh, I'm not telling you, you're not knowing how to start a supplement brand. Because then you'll be competition. Nah, I don't look at it like that at all. I think there's a line that I'll cross. I will never give my manufacturer up because unless it's someone that I know and I'm really good mates with them, because I think if you're too lazy to go out there and find a manufacturer, then you've got no chance anyway, so I'd rather just not give you it. But I'm always happy to point people in the right direction and kind of give some steps as to what you can do to get your own supplement brand started. Things you need to look out for, things I wish I'd have done sooner, and things maybe you can implement into your supplement business. So let's get started. Okay, so first up on the list I have get some experience in the industry. I would definitely recommend either working for a supplement company or working maybe at a supplement shop or working in a manufacturer's, I don't know, just be around supplements. You need to kind of know your stuff. You are always going to get caught out by some stuff. There's going to be an ingredient you've never heard of. There's going to be someone saying, why does this ingredient dehydrate me, or why do I feel this way on an ingredient? And you might have never read anything about that. There might be a gap in your knowledge, or it could just be nonsense on their part, and you kind of need to find a way around that. But getting some knowledge in the industry is huge. For me, I worked in a supplement store for 6 years before I decided to start doing my own supplements, so I kind of had a good idea of what makes a good formula. I also watch a lot of YouTube, read a lot of studies. When people ask me, how do you know what to put in your supplements? To me, it's quite easy. It's common knowledge. At Wolf Subs, obviously, we have the motto, no half measures. So look at what everyone else is doing, look at the clinical studies, and either put the minimum in, or for us, we like to go above and beyond and put more than the minimum in. So second up, this is obvious, and for me as a 21-year-old starting this, save some dosh was a massive problem, but it also made me realise the importance of hard work and setting your mind on something and having a goal. So saving money, obviously you're going to need money to launch your supplement brand. For me, just working part-time, saving as much money as I could, driving around a car, not really doing too much. I still went on holidays and stuff, but not living a crazy life, and managing to save a good amount of money along the way. COVID helped with this as well. Obviously there wasn't much to do, you couldn't go away, so I was just saving all my money. I was out running all the time, just training at home. So yeah, save some money. And then that leads on to the question, how much do you actually need? Well, that obviously depends on how many products you're going to be launching, how many flavours, how many tubs you're going to be wanting. For me, I always thought it'd be better to start with the minimum amount that I could, minimum flavours. So we started with 1 product, 2 flavours, and then went all out pushing that product. Obviously, when we first launched, it was slow. It was really slow. Like, I'm talking 1 order a week. Sometimes we get 2 orders a week, and that'd be like, oh my god, 2 orders this week. But yeah, accept that it's going to be slow. Just go with whatever's in your budget. I'd say minimum you're going to need, I mean, you could do it with like 5k, definitely could do it with 5k, but you're also going to want some like cool graphics designing. You're going to need a website building. You're going to need all these other little things. Maybe you want to put something towards a camera. You might need product shots, you might need 3D animation, stuff like that. So I'd say 5k is a bare minimum. I would honestly rather go 5k on actual product and then 5k on everything else, so pushing the product, maybe invest into marketing, stuff like that. So next up, you've saved your dosh, you've got some experience in the industry, now you're going to need a manufacturer. So this is the point that I made earlier. Everyone kind of stumbles at this block, and I'm not going to lie, when I started this journey, I did actually stumble at this block as well. I contacted 4 or 5 manufacturers. I got to almost last base with one, and then they kind of changed up on me and said the minimum order was something like 870 units per flavour, so I would need 1800 units to just get the order in production. And some of you might look at that and think, well, you've sold it so it would have been alright. At the time, the first batch was completely different to the second and third batch, because when the labels came, I weren't happy with them. There were certain things that I weren't happy with, certain colours, the names of the flavours, stuff like that. So committing to 1900 tubs on a first batch is absolutely ridiculous, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you've done it before maybe, or you're already kind of big time. If you've got loads of following, if you've got a big following and you know you can sell it, then maybe commit to that. But for me, 200 tubs was a good point, and I finally, after letdown, got in touch with a manufacturer that I still use today, and they had a minimum order of 200 tubs. So got the 200 tubs going, and they took a while to sell, but obviously that's one thing that you need to expect. Another thing now, this is important, very important, and that is make sure you're up on label regulations and ingredient regulations. So in the UK we have things called novel foods. There's certain ingredients that you can't use that you might have seen in other American brands, or American pre-workouts, etc. And you really need to be up on that. Maybe ask the advice of your manufacturer if you're not up on that, or ask the advice of someone that you know in the industry. Again, this is why it's important to have been in the industry, so you can kind of see you've kind of got these connections already. You've got other supplement brands that might be willing to help you. Yeah, you can't just be throwing everything and anything in a pre-workout. And also the label, there is certain regulations that need to be on there, that need to be adhering to UK law. We have quite a strict food regulation policy in the UK, and it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing, but as much as it's a good thing, if you get it wrong, you'll be penalised for it. So make sure you're up on that and get all that stuff right. And now, going off the labels, I'd say learn how to make labels yourself. I see other companies who design labels, and I know a ton of companies in the industry that get other people to design the labels. For me, I didn't have a clue how to design a label when I first started. However, this is something that I've kind of developed, and although my labels are very basic, I think that having the knowledge to design your own labels goes a long way, because you can come out with random limited edition batches without having to pay someone a hefty chunk of money to make a new label. So what I did was I went onto Adobe Spark. Your manufacturer will tell you what size label you need. So if you've got like 1,000ml tub, there's a fairly standard size label that you need for them. Adobe Spark, you can mess around, you can plug in your logos, you can plug in your nutrition label. I actually made my nutrition label on Pages on a MacBook. It's honestly not that difficult. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but once you get the hang of it, it's so worth it, because I've had quotes to make labels now just out of pure laziness, and they're extortionate. So, and finally on this little point, I've just put love the life, love the journey. It's easy to get caught up all the time in what's going wrong, what's going right. I want to be here. When will I get there? When will I get this many followers? When will I get this many sales? Sometimes it's hard just to slow down and appreciate the journey, but that is essential. Like just take a look sometimes and think, look at how far I've come. Even if you haven't got your product yet, if you've made the labels, if you've got the ordering with a manufacturer, stuff like that, just look back and think, wow, I got this far, well done. Yes, you want to be striving for more, but life is too short, and that's something that I've realised recently. Sit back sometimes and think, yeah, I'm doing what I love, or giving what I love a go, and that's something to be appreciative of. So that's just another little thing on there. Right, so another question that I get all the time is, what has made your brand successful? And in my eyes, I wouldn't even say it's nowhere near as successful as I want it to be, but we have kind of made it past that 1 year mark, that 2 year mark, where a lot of businesses go under. So what has made us successful? The main thing, in my opinion, is being relentless with social media, relentless with posting content, relentless with YouTube, and just everything social media. Obviously the products speak for themselves, the products are good, so you need to have a good product there initially, but nowadays we live in a world where everyone's on the phone, everyone's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Play it to your advantage. If you're young like myself, if you're in your 20s, you probably know how to work Instagram, you probably know how to make reels, you probably know how to make TikToks. Use technology to your advantage. Obviously these old boys in the industry that once ran the game have got a new generation of young lads, young women, entrepreneurs coming after them. So use this to your advantage, trust me. And another one, what have we done? So giving back often. This is something that we did more of in the first year and a half, but it's something that I'm wanting to carry on doing. We are now doing charity events, stuff like that, but when I'm talking about giving back, I mean giving back to the people who support you. So by doing giveaways, or maybe you've got a customer who buys stuff all the time, just send them a shaker or send them a t-shirt or send them a sample of a new product that you've got coming. This is something that I love to do. I've got people who have been buying off me every month for 2 years, and if I'm coming out with a new product, I want to hear their feedback on it. I want to know what they think, and at the same time, they probably appreciate the fact that I'll send them the stuff for them to try before everyone else. So giving back often to the people that support you is a huge thing when you're just starting. Obviously it's hard when you get more and more customers, but at Wolf Subs, even when we had Tom working in the shop, Tom working on the orders as well as me, we'd go through the orders together, and sometimes I'd say, oh well, he's ordered quite a few times before, would you make this package extra special, however you can. So always doing that is a good tip. Obviously keeps people loyal to your brand, but also strengthens the relationship between you and your customer, which you can't go wrong with. So this point kind of ties into the last one, but having genuine appreciation and interest in customers. So for us, I'm always messaging customers who I know have bought a few times, or bought even a lot of times, and just asking them how they are, how's the training going, how they're finding the supplements, how's life in general. It's much deeper than just you buy my products, you're putting money in my pocket. It's much deeper than that. Have a genuine appreciation and genuine interest of your customers. Do not have a fake interest or a fake appreciation. You need to be genuinely interested, because when you actually sit back and deep it or think about it, these guys are putting food on the table. They're paying my rent, they're paying for Rufus's food, they're paying for my car, they're paying for my petrol, they're paying for my food every week. I did just say that twice, but you get the gist. So when you sit down, you've got to think, these guys are paying for all this, so have a genuine appreciation. Appreciate the people supporting you, and if they come out with a product or they do something themselves, support them back. It goes a long way. So that's a big one for us. And then this is something that's probably helped us the most, and it kind of ties into the social side of things, but events, podcasts, gym reviews, and unique content. So when I first decided to do a YouTube channel, I was kind of thinking, what can we post? And I think the route that I was gonna go down was just going in depth on supplements and sitting, as I am now, speaking to the camera on supplements, on studies, stuff like that. And as much as I enjoy doing that, I just think the views and stuff like that, the amount of eyes it would get on us, wouldn't be worth it. So for us, I thought, well, everyone's into the gym who follows this page, so why don't we do gym reviews where we go around the UK and review gyms? And that has been a massive success for us. So something unique like that will definitely help you and your supplement business on this journey. And not only do the gym reviews allow you to reach more eyes on YouTube, you're also connecting with people in real life when you're walking into these gyms, when everyone's wearing the Wolf Subs gear or wearing the whatever it may be that you're doing gear. It's a good way to get yourself out there. And events also ties into this, so hosting events wherever you can. Obviously it's handy for us, we've got a shop, we can host events outside the shop, but you might host events at a pub or in a gym, I don't know, wherever your local gym is. It's good to bring people together and create that sense of community. Right, things that you want to expect that I wish I knew earlier on. So expect not to take anything out. If you're starting genuinely from nothing, expect to not have very much for a long time. So me, started with money that I saved from a part-time job, threw that in. I thought in a year's time, when I'm selling stuff, I'm going to be taking loads of money out and I'm going to be living the life, living comfortably. That's not how it works. So imagine you're buying 200 tubs of your first pre-workout. They eventually sell. And you think, right, what can I do to sell more? So you start pushing marketing, money's going back into marketing. then your business is slowly getting bigger. So you're like, oh, well, actually this time I'm going to buy 300 tubs, and then they sell, and then next time you're going to buy 400 tubs, then maybe 700 tubs. So the money is constantly going back in. The benefit of doing this, obviously you are growing. When you've got inventory sat in your stock room, that is unrealised profit in my eyes. So say you've got 50k worth of inventory, you started with nothing. Obviously you've made 50k, it's obviously not in your pocket, it's in stock, but it's something to be proud of. You've got 50k worth of product that you could have never dreamt of at the start. So expect not to take anything out. And going back to that point, obviously you can be buying more of the product that you've started with, or you can be developing new products. So you might want to drop a new product when your business has started moving, maybe a pump product in our case. So then you need 300 tubs of pump product. All that money is just profit that you've made on the other tubs. And then you might want to drop a sleep formula like we did, or a creatine like we did. And all the money goes back in. Where we are 2 years into this now, and I've been taking bare minimum out of the business now for 2 years. And I'm talking bare minimum, like I can afford to pay my rent, pay car, stuff like that, and still save a little bit, but nothing crazy. Definitely not taking anything crazy out. And I thought that when I started this, by now I'd be absolutely chilling. Like if I was selling the amount that I'm selling, I thought surely I'm chilling, but it's just not the case unless you're getting investors involved, or unless you're taking massive loans, which might be an idea, but that's not something that I can speak for. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Another thing that I wish I'd knew sooner is not to overshoot on certain products. So for me, this is very individual, and you might run into something like this, but we needed nitrosogene for Wolf Pump, and the only way we could get nitrosogene from our manufacturer was to order 100 kilos of nitrosogene to come from America into the UK. At the time, Wolf Pump was having nitrosogene in there, and that was it. Like there was no other option. Me being stubborn, it was going to be in there, and that's just the way it was going to be. Looking back now, ordering 100 kilos in, and then I had to sign a service agreement to say that I'd take a certain amount of tubs in a specific time frame. I ended up with way more tubs of Wolf Pump than I would ever need, or that I needed at the time. They do eventually sell, obviously, but that money could have been invested into marketing, it could have been invested into the social media, could have been invested into new cameras, it could have been invested into making the business bigger, but instead it was sat there in stock that, like I say, eventually it will go, and it's almost gone. But I just wish I'd have known, because I'd have said, you know what, let's take nitrosogene out, and let's put something else in that's really good, but we don't need to order 100 kilos of it. But at the time, it were a bit of a mistake, and looking back, I think that we would be slightly bigger than we are now if I hadn't have made that mistake, because like I said, we could have had more in marketing. We could have even had another product for like what we were putting into this Wolf Pump. So yeah, don't get too stubborn on your products. You've got to take risks sometimes, but overshooting on products is never a good idea, especially when it's one of your first products. So just be careful. I'd say order as little as you can, as often as you can, and try to get your lead times right down, and that's definitely the way to go about it, in my opinion. And now this is a point that it even annoys me to read, and that is optimize website earlier. For us, we were operating on a crappy Wix website for the best part of 2 years. Like, we've only just changed it, and already conversion rate has almost doubled on the new website. Now I look back at all the site visitors that we've had over the last 2 years, and that's a lot of money wasted. Even if the conversion rate doubled, or even if it not even doubled, even if it jumped up a few percent, not even a few percent, if it jumped up 0.5%, that's a lot of money that we've left on the table. So if you know something needs doing, in my case the website, get it done early. Get a good website done early. I initially used Wix. Going back, I wish I'd have just used Shopify. I mean, I was told at the time by loads of people, but I liked the way Wix did things, and I found it easy on Wix. But now Shopify's the way. I mean, look at Gymshark, look at Alphalete, look at any other big business. They're using Shopify, and there is a reason for that. It makes everything so much easier. It makes interacting with your customers easy. It makes sending emails out easy. It makes doing TikTok ads easy. It makes doing Instagram ads easy. So yeah, use Shopify. Right, another point that I've made here is get quotes elsewhere for cheaper products. So this is something that I wish I'd have done earlier as well. And that's not to say that I am necessarily using different manufacturers, I'm not. But it's good to get quotes elsewhere to kind of see what the general price is for the products you're making. Some manufacturers will be able to do it cheaper. And if that's the case, go to your manufacturer and just say, look, these guys have offered to do it for this. I want to carry on using you. Is there any way you can do that? They might come back to you and say, unfortunately not, it puts us at a loss. Or they might come back and say, yeah, that makes us margins below what we're usually happy to go for, but we want to keep you, so we will do it for that. So there's no harm in messaging around. It helps to have some sort of solid base before you do this. If you're just some random company popping up in someone's email box, they're probably not going to be as willing to just go above and beyond and quote you for your products. But if you've got a bit of a following already and they can see that you're kind of shifting some units, they will be willing to do it for you. So yeah, get quotes elsewhere. Right, this is a bit of a weird point that I'm making here, and I'm still not sure if it's correct or not, but I'm saying take some focus, this is for me anyway, take some focus off clothing, wasting time on other stuff and not the main focus. So since I started, we've always been dropping new hoodies, new vests, new t-shirts, hats, we've dropped loads of random shit, and although it is cool and it does get you out there, it does take away from the main goal in my opinion. And the way that we are pushing things now is we're dropping supplements is our main focus, but we will have like 1 or 2 pieces of clothing on the side of that. So like now we've got Wolf Pump covers, that is it. Like we're just, if you want to buy a Wolf Subs t-shirt, Wolf Pump cover is kind of the only thing that we do. Once all them have sold, we'll drop a new piece of clothing. But one thing I wish I'd have done from the start is forget about the clothing and just create some more supplements sooner. So like we could have dropped to the sleep formula way sooner if I'd have put the cash used for the sleep formula, or the cash used for clothing, sorry, into the sleep formula. So yeah, get your focus and stick to it. If you do want to be a clothing brand as well as a supplement company, obviously that's, your situation is different. You might want to actually make sick clothing and be a supplement company. For us, I do enjoy making good clothing, but I haven't got the time, patience or effort to put into it to get the best prices, to get the best quality, all that kind of stuff. So clothing, I'm happy if I break even on it. It's good to see it out there, but I wouldn't recommend to you guys wasting too much time on other stuff rather than the main goal. And this final point is probably the biggest point, and in my opinion, if we'd have done this sooner, we would be way bigger than what we are right now. So that is start YouTube ASAP. YouTube can be quite a daunting task, can be quite a daunting challenge. Obviously, whapping out a camera, speaking to a camera. When you first do it, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel weird. It feels so weird. Like, I remember doing the first video outside the shop. Please don't go and watch it because it is dead awkward, but I was literally like shaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm speaking to a camera. But trust me, when you've done it a few times, it just becomes natural. You kind of enjoy doing it. You kind of enjoy looking back at how far you've come as well. So for me, if I'd have started this YouTube channel when we first started, that would be a year before when I did start it, I just feel like we'd be so much bigger. We'd have done so much more stuff. It'd have just been an all-around good decision for the business. Starting the YouTube channel when we did has helped a ton. Obviously, the YouTube channel gives us a reason to go out and experience new gyms, gives us a reason to go out and meet new people, do podcasts, stuff like that, and it just brings everyone together. So if I were you and I was starting a supplement brand today, start a YouTube ASAP. Start making videos ASAP. Commit to like a weekly schedule. Instagram's cool, TikTok's cool, Facebook's cool, Twitter is cool, but nothing connects to your audience or your customers quite like a long format video or YouTube video. You just can't beat it. So yeah, start a YouTube channel. Right guys, that concludes this video. I hope that if anyone watching this is thinking about starting a supplement brand, I genuinely hope that this has given you some insight or maybe given you a better idea what to expect or what you need to be doing. We are by no means anywhere near where I want to be, but we have, like I say, we've made it past the year 1 mark, we've made it past the year 2 mark, and we are growing. So hopefully we can give some advice back and hopefully build some more sick supplement brands that we can see in the future. And one day maybe one of you guys will come up to me and be like, yo Tom, I watched that video that you did years back, started a supplement brand, and now look at us, they'll be down on me, and I'll be like, say, why did I tell him that? So, but yeah, I hope you genuinely got some value out of this. If not, it might have just been interesting to see kind of a bit more behind the scenes stuff at Wolf Subs, whatever. But yeah, if you've liked the video, please like the video. If you want to see more videos like this, comment underneath and give us some ideas, or just tell us that you do like these kind of videos. And please hit that subscribe button. We are on the way to 1,000, and I feel like we'll get there very soon, but we need you guys to subscribe. So yeah, thank you always for the support, guys, and have a mint summer.
Man, them got it cracking again, and the man them got it cracking again.